Welcome to MusicNT's Small PA Basics, the source episode. My name is Tash.
I'm Jessie.
Here we have the Sister Sounds Small PA that we use at MusicNT.
In case you are wondering, the term PA comes from the word public address or public address system. The PA gets used for rehearsals out bush and for workshops.
The equipment we are using for this episode is a Yamaha MG82 mixer, 2 powered speakers by DB Technologies, 2 speaker stands, a Shure PG58 microphone, an XLR lead, a microphone stand, an acoustic guitar with a pickup, a guitar lead, speaker leads, power boards and power leads.
First, let's lay our power out as we need it. We will need power for the speakers and the mixing desk, so power boards and power extension leads are needed.
Find a desk for the mixer to sit on. Plug the power supply in, then into the desk. Make sure we have not turned any power on yet.
We always use the same power source for our PA amps and instruments. The power leads and cables are always kept out of people's way so we don't trip over.
You can use cable covers or carpet to make them safe and prevent people tripping on them.
Yep.
If you notice any power leads looking broken at all, do not use them.
Next, set up the speaker stands, making sure the legs are fully extended and tightened. Then we extend the speaker pole to the height we want, insert the pole pin and then tighten. We place the speakers on the stand. You may need a hand if they are too heavy.
Attach the power cords to the speakers, then run the lead from the stereo out 1/4 inch left and right of the mixer to the XLR input on the speakers. Still no power turned on yet. Do this to both left and right speakers or monitors. Now let's plug a microphone into channel 1 on the mixer.
You can set up a PA for rehearsal, workshop or performances. For rehearsal and workshops, all the musicians or participants need to hear the vocals and instruments, so we have the speakers facing towards us.
Just be aware of not creating feedback by having the volume too loud and the microphones facing the speakers. For performances, it is best to have the monitors facing away from the musician towards the audience. The musician should be behind the speakers.
We are going to set this small PA up for a workshop. Do not use the PA in the rain or extremely windy places, and always store correctly in a dry, dust-free place.
Make sure you set up your mixer in a safe place on a stable surface and it is protected. And remember, no drinks near music equipment.
When we power on our PA, we always turn the speakers on last and off first. The mixer is turned on before the speakers.
We make sure the speaker volume is down when we turn them on, then turn the volume up. This stops large pop sounds of the mixer being powered up coming through the speakers, possibly damaging them and even hurting our ears.
It's important to think about signal flow when using a PA. Signal flow is the direction the sound travels in, the path and processes it travels through to get to the speakers and then to our ears.
Let's follow the signal flow now and talk about how this PA works at the same time. In this small basic PA, the signal, in this case a microphone signal, travels into the microphone, down the microphone cable to the mixer, then from the mixer to the powered speakers.
Now let's look closer at the mixer. This mixer has 4 XLR input channels. Some mixers have a lot more channels than this one. Channels labelled 1 and 2 take XLR or monoline input. The channels 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 take a mono XLR or stereo line input. Channel 7 and 8 take a stereo line input only.
As an example, this means you can plug 2 vocal microphones into the desk, an acoustic and a keyboard if you like, all at the same time. A line input could be from an acoustic guitar, keyboard, or phone plugged straight into the desk.
This microphone is plugged into channel 1 on the mixer. Let's have a look at channel 1. We follow the path on the microphone to the mic 1 input. As we travel down the channel strip, we can see a line input that could be used for keys, an acoustic, and an insert.
What's an insert, Jess?
An insert is used to add effects to that channel only using external equipment. Could be a compressor or a pedal delay.
Next we find a gain control, used to control the level to the channel. We adjust this so that the peak light above the high EQ dial below flashes briefly with the highest peak level it's receiving.
Under the gain, we have the high pass filter button. This takes out some of the low frequencies below 80 Hz and can make our sound a little clearer if it is too bassy.
What do you mean?
So if you have a really deep voice, this can make it a little clearer and easier to understand.
Next is the compression control, a yellow one in this case, which is used when a signal is jumping from loud to soft, to make the volume more even and workable, compressing the signal to make it sit easier in the mix.
When would you use this, Tash?
You could use this if a singer is shouting a lot, to make them sound more level and sit in the mix better.
The next set of controls are the EQ, or the equalization controls. They are green on this desk. These are similar to what you find on a car or home stereo. They adjust the treble or high frequencies, mids and low frequencies, like bassier sounds, of the signal in the channel. We can increase, plus, or decrease, minus, the range we choose.
The next control dial, this white one, is the effects send. This sends the signal from the channel to the effects. And this mixer comes with built-in effects. Think of the signal flow as a detour. It lets the signal go through the channel as well as directing it to the effects. The effects also has a volume fader and an on and off button.
Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. The next control dial is the pan. This lets us move the sound in the channel to the left and right speakers, or have it in the middle so it's coming out of both. This is handy if you want to separate your mix a little and say if you're mixing 2 guitars and a voice could be in the middle and the guitars panned left and right, creating space between the sounds. This is great for opening up your mix.
The final white control dial is this, channel 1, volume control. This sets the level of this channel in the overall mix. The channel 2 signal flow on this mixer is the same as channel 1.
Channels 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 are similar in that they take 1 XLR microphone input per channel strip. But they also take a stereo and monoline input per channel.
Like a stereo keyboard?
Yes. Channels 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 do not have a compressor in their signal chain.
Channel 7 and 8 is different from the others once again. It's a stereo channel with RCA inputs, the red and white plugs you may find on your home stereo. This channel also has stereo line inputs with a simplified EQ chain. All of these channel strips you may find on larger mixers also.
The effect return channels give us the option to choose a digital effect, like reverb, echo, and chorus, and adjust the parameters of this effect, like length of a reverb or delay. This strip has an on switch for the effects and volume control dial to control the level of the effects to the mix.
Next are the master volume control dials with dials for monitors or headphones. plus the stereo master control in red, very important. If you hear feedback in your speakers, you can pull the master down.
If we want to use headphones, plug them into the headphones output.
We have a level meter to show us when we are operating in safe levels. We don't want to overload the speakers. If the peak light comes on here, we need to lower the stereo master control dial.
So now we follow our signal out of the mixing desk to the powered speakers. Before turning up the mixing desk master out, check that our channel level is not peaking. Slowly bring up the master control to the level you want it to be.
Now let's plug in an acoustic guitar into channel 2, line input. We make sure the channel volume control is down, then plug in the guitar. Make sure the volume on the guitar is up at least halfway.
Play the guitar and adjust the gain so that the peak light goes on. Then pull on the gain back till it's only very occasionally flashing when you play loud. Then pull it back till it stops lighting up. By doing this and adjusting the gain, we know we have a good signal coming in.
Now bring up the level of the channel 2 volume control till the acoustic is at your desired level. Remember not to listen to loud volumes for long and never put your ear up against the speakers.
Now we have a basic mix-up. Have a play with the EQs and effects we have talked about.
When it's time to turn off the PA and pack down, we do this in the reverse way to set up. First, we pull the levels down on the master volume on the mixing desk, then the levels down on each channel. We turn the volume levels down on the powered speakers, then turn them off.
Once the speakers are off, it is safe to turn the mixer off. Power down the PA at the power point and pack down the equipment. If anything is too heavy or awkward for you to carry, remember to ask a friend.
Remember to store your equipment in a cool and dry place, away from rain, moisture, heat and animals. Enjoy making music!
Enjoy!